Hmm. 2017, I think September, Bella Niger did an interview with me celebrating 25 under 25. And of course, the interview got recognition, viewers and all that. And I remember I got a DM in October of 2017. And I saw the DM, they trying to get to know me and whatnot, but I just did not bother responding because I wasn't interested. Then December, mind you, I'm the one handling everything about my socials, right? So what that meant was I was the one replying customers. So in December, I got a message from this person. I didn't even know it was the same person that had messaged me on my personal Instagram before. I was just attending to a customer, right? And that December, that 2017, so the person ordered a product. I can't remember what it was now. And that 2017 was when we had that terrible fuel scarcity. I don't think we've had that. I don't think we've had it that bad since that 2017. Because even normally, if there's fuel scarcity, I still manage. I'm not really much on the queue, or I have somebody to send. But that 2017, I had to enter street to hey, I had to enter street to look for fuel. In fact, the fuel I ended up getting, it was like brown, like this color. So there was no fuel. The scarcity was very terrible. Couldn't get riders to deliver products that were ordered for Christmas. I had to make the tough decision and call clients to refund their money. There was really nothing I could do. Even me, I didn't have fuel in my car then. I didn't have rider that could do it. There was no Uber. I had to refund. Some customers understood, some didn't. But for this particular person, he offered the option of picking up. But this is me, a single woman living alone in Lagos. I don't know anywhere, I don't know anybody. I just did not want any customer to come to my house to pick up their order. So I rejected that offer and I said I would rather refund instead. So he said, okay, that his dad's birthday was coming up the next month, that I should just keep it as store credit and he use it for his dad's order. So okay, no problem, that's fine. I kind of felt indebted to, the customers that I disappointed with the business. And I think some 2 days later, I got a call from this person. Obviously, I was interested in what my customer that Moyi Money had to say now. So I picked up the call, and to be honest with you, I can't remember much that happened during the call, but I was just like giving the person a listen. So that was when the person now told me that, oh, that he has actually trying to get my attention with my personal DM. So I always check it out. I was like, oh, okay, you actually did the request. Oh, hi. So that made me soften up and just listen to what this person had to say. And that was how I met my ex-husband. By January of 2018, we're now like talking more, and I think like a month later, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And in dating fashion, I remember telling myself that I needed to pray about it. So I kind of gave it like 2 weeks, 2 weeks break. Like let me just focus, pray about it. But then obviously by now business was booming. Well, when I mean booming, at least for my level, at the time, it was booming. At least I was getting one order a day, and then Valentine's was coming, so obviously photo shoot and whatnot. So it was a very busy period for me, and I couldn't really pay attention to say okay the prayer, which is my number one red flag if I'm being honest, because I usually always pray over a relationship. But for that moment, I really could not do the in-depth prayer that I wanted to do at the time. So that happened, and by Valentine's I was coming, maybe down to I was making everybody giddy. I was like, okay, what gives, right? I wasn't really looking for anything serious. Like I said, I was looking for a job, right? So I wasn't for anything serious. I already even said I don't think I wanted to date him in the first place because of a certain condition that was given to me that I didn't like. But he was very persistent. He was very likable. He was doing all the right things, and I was like, okay, don't go and chase good man away because of your own, you know, deal breakers or whatever. So I decided to give it a try and just okay, let's just date. So if anything, compared to my previous relationship as an adult, I felt like this was the one I just said, let's see where it goes. Like I wasn't thinking of the future because I kind of felt like okay, maybe I should change my script a bit because I'm always if I cannot marry, I cannot do this. But for that one, I was like, okay, maybe I'm too hard on myself. Maybe my standards were too high. So now that I'm a new Lagos babe and this person is giving me attention, is doing all the right things, is persistent, he says he likes me. Okay. And not like he's jobless, he has job too. So I mean, I'm jobless, but then I had my business too. So it just kind of felt like there was really nothing that I would say was a big red, don't do this, right? And I just decided to give it a try. And that was when I started our relationship in 2018, February. So the relationship itself, in summary, it was okay. It was It was okay. I think that's what I can say. I can't say it was great because now I'm looking at it from a different perspective of the past, right? As at when it was happening to me, it felt like, oh, this man loves me, I love him, we're good, we rarely fight, we don't really argue as much. So there's really nothing to complain about. That was how the relationship felt to me. There was really nothing more to complain about. So yeah, celebrate 1 year anniversary, celebrate 2 years anniversary. But in hindsight now, I feel like there was nothing challenging in that relationship that made me a better person in hindsight. Now, this is the relationship. It didn't really challenge me to be better. I just felt like I already came in as a complete woman, if that makes sense. Because this person shows that okay, I'm enough for them. It's also showing me that it's enough for me in that moment. Because one, I wasn't really looking for something genge anymore. If you recall what I just said, anything about my standards were already out of the window because I felt like I was being unrealistic, right? This is me coming in as a Lagos babe now, remember. My previous experiences were mostly long distance when I was in school. I didn't date anybody in the uni, so most of my relationships were long distance. This relationship in Lagos was my first. We're in the same distance. We're in the same distance relationship. We're seeing each other almost every day, or at most, or at best, or at least rather during the weekend. So I was literally seeing this person consistently. And it's like when you're trying to lose weight, right? You're seeing yourself in the mirror every day, you won't see the difference, right? But imagine if you don't see yourself in the mirror for 1 month and you record yourself the first the first day of the month and the last day of the month without looking at yourself in between, you will definitely see growth. So I'm not trying to advocate for long distance. Long distance should have its limits, right? But I felt like long distance, the reason why my long distance ended up not working as such was because there was time apart for me to really see whether this thing was going to go anywhere or not. As an adult, this was my proper short distance relationship, and every day just felt like repetition. Oh, how are you? How are you? In the evening, no checking, good night, good night. When we see each other, we see each other. When we go out, we go out. So there was really nothing to see in terms of growth to say, okay, first day of the month, last day of the month, this is how we've grown as a couple. It just kind of felt monotonous in the way we were going about things. Is work here, is work there, challenges here, challenges there. We didn't have time for say, okay, let's review our relationship. So it just kind of felt like it was time that was reviewing our relationship in the sense of this is how long we've dated. So because of how long we've dated, that means we've done well. Because if we had broken up 3 months, then we can say we did not do well. But we're still going 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year anniversary. Oh, it's a relationship and it's good, right? But because you're counting time doesn't necessarily tell you that it's good. It just means you're in a limbo, right? Until you can actually put facts on ground to say this is how we've circumvent fights and arguments. This is how we've been able to change from how we met. This is now how we handle arguments. This is how we handle difficulties. This is how we handle challenges, if you get what I mean. But for us, we didn't have that kind of review to say this is how we've grown in the last 1 year. It just kind of felt giddy, like, oh yeah, we love each other. I love you. Happy anniversary. This is your gift. This is your cake. This is what you did for me on Valentine's Day. Wait for me on Christmas Day. This is the date that we went to. This is how much you spent to this one. And of course, I was still jobless too for the first half of that relationship. But I finally got a job in July of 2018, right? So it wasn't until I got a job that I now had other things that I could go out to do, and then also that I had to move to the hospital doctor's quarters too. Oh my god, my story is actually a lot. So the relationship was smooth. There was really nothing to say a big negative in my face to say it wasn't a good relationship, other than what I've already mentioned in terms of there were no reviews to see whether we're becoming better people as individuals and better people for each other. We're just living each day as it came. We're just going with the flow. Yes. And it's funny because in my previous relationships, that was one thing I would never allow, going with the flow. You had to give me concrete timeline, you had to give me concrete milestones for us to achieve. But for this one, it just felt different. And in my head, I'm also thinking, okay, maybe it's because this one is different that is working. So that means my previous method wasn't working. That was what I always told myself, right? And I just went with that. Well, I should also mention that spiritually in the relationship, I was just there. I was lukewarm. I go to church, I pray, but there was nothing that lit fire in me to say, yes, I'm a devoted Christian. There was I can compare. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I can tell you for a fact that I didn't really feel God's presence in what I was doing in terms of the relationship while it was happening. It just felt like as long as there's no bad thing, yeah, that is good, right? But that is wrong. That is entirely a wrong mindset to have. After my housemanship ended, there was a loss in his family, and something just happened around that moment, that same month, right before the person died. I felt this person was going to die. The next morning, I got the call that this person is dead. May God rest his soul. And it just did something to my mental state that I lost it. In retrospect, that was the beginning of depression for me. I was very, very down mentally. And career wise, this is me now, done with housemanship. I got a job. I was progressing with career. Like I was literally doing well for myself in career. But because of everything that just happened, I was lost. And also because now at this point, this is already 1 year, 6 months relationship. I remember I was always asking, okay, now we've dated for 1 year, 6 months. What exactly is your plan for us, right? What do you want us to do? Are we moving forward in terms of something more permanent, or are we just going by the days till maybe we date for 5 years and they finally want to settle down? So if anything, I remember always asking for updates in terms of our next plan as a couple. So now compound me asking a man, "Hey, what's your plan?" almost every week or something. Like I know there was a period of time where I kept on asking because I wasn't getting anything um that was yielding an answer. Like I said, either to give me a positive or you give me a negative. At least give me an answer. But for this one, I was just left in limbo. So that one was happening with the relationship, and then I was also going through my mental health decline, and then I was also dealing with a job that needed me to commute from mainland to island because then after my housemanship I had moved to the mainland, and then I also now had a business that has now grown. This is now 2 years after I moved to Lagos. So the business had now grown. I'm doing well, but I'm still doing it solo. So I have four different things pulling me in different directions. I was lost. This was 2019. I was lost. I was sad. I even mentioned it at one point to him. I was like, I don't know what's going on with me, but I know something is happening and I'm not happy about it and I'm sad about it. And really, there was really nothing concrete that he could have helped me with at that point. And one day, I remember telling my previous boss, I was like, "Ma, I think I don't want to quit. Yeah, I'm going through a lot. I don't understand it. I'm going through a lot." Oh, okay. And then before I said I wanted to quit, so it was November. By September, I finally got proposed to. And yeah, it felt like, okay, yeah, I guess he wants to marry me then. Okay, no problem. But in retrospect, I now realized that something was off. Like I said, everything was going on right, but I wasn't exactly as excited as I should have been. But I love this man. I love him. I actually know I love him, and I want to marry him. But I did not know what was going on with me. Obviously, I didn't put any blame on him. I didn't put any blame on my mental health because I didn't even know what was going on at that time. But I just put the blame on stress, that the commute to Ikoyi every day was stressing me out, and also having to like do my business when I come back from work. So I just like compounded it all to be like juggling work and juggling business is not the same as juggling school and juggling business, if you get what I mean. Work is a bigger responsibility. So I just blamed it all on the stress of having to sleep late, wake up early, cycle. And I remember telling my boss then that I wanted to quit, and God bless her, she gave me a week off instead to just go and rest. And then when I come back, we can talk about it. So when I resumed back to work, I was like, okay, yeah, I can do it. It's fine. Let's continue. So this was 2019 November. I went back to work. December, we're planning the wedding at this point. So for the first 2 months or so after the proposal, I really wasn't really into the wedding. And I remember I said to him, I said, "Don't worry, just choose the date you want to choose. I'll show up." That's another red flag. But like I said, I was already mentally in a declined state with it because of everything that was going on. So this is me as a young girl looking forward to my wedding. I don't know if anybody knows this, but the fingers, right? They will say, oh, the ring should be different places, and they say this one is for widow, or abi, is this one divorce? I think this one is for widow. I don't know, but rings I had like places where you should put it. This one is a wedding, engagement, blah blah blah. I remember that as a child, I always tell myself, I will never put ring where it's supposed to be for widow or divorcee or something. So that was me as a person. Like I always look forward to marriage and doing it awesomely and doing it well. Um, but for this wedding, I just did not have that level of excitement that I thought I would have for a wedding. So I just boiled it down to maybe those were just my childhood fantasies, right? Not knowing that there was a bigger problem happening like with me, and that was my spirit, my body, my soul was rejecting this. Now I'm telling you in retrospect, but my body, soul, and spirit was rejecting this happening. But I was just going with the flow of everything happening, right? And then yeah, he chose the wedding date for court. We wanted to do courts before we did the ceremony, and for some reason, it's even now that I'm realizing why is it why. I think to celebrate our 2 year anniversary. I think so. That's the thing that comes to my mind. But um other than that, he chose the wedding date and whatnot, right? So we're really looking forward to court wedding happening. It was going to be just something small, go to the registry and just eat out, nothing big. And I remember was it days or weeks before the court wedding, I was given the opportunity to call it off from him. Well, I'm not saying in terms of he came and told me, okay, get out, right? Maybe that was the intention, I don't know. But something was tendered to me that was not only shocking, it was revealing, and that was my get out moment. That was definitely my get out moment from God, right? Because what was given to me wasn't a new discovery to the other party. It was something that has always been happening in the background, and I was just privy to it in this moment. So maybe that was also him giving me the ticket to say, babe, don't marry me, or I don't know. But like I said, understanding, babe, in love, babe, I'm here for you, babe. Let's do this, babe. Doctor, babe. So in that moment, I didn't see it as my red card to leave the field. I saw it as this is my time to be super supportive of this moment and whatnot. So that happened, and then we did court wedding. Court happened, and we're looking forward to the main wedding ceremonies, which are happening like 2 months later. Then by March, COVID happened.